Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm doing something totally new, something that I've not done before, and I'm also combining a few techniques. So I've got this and I've got this. So something new, something that's been kind of brewing away in my mind that I want to try and get from my mind onto canvas. So let's see if we can do it. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's see what we can create. So this one is about something new for me. And I'm using a large canvas, but I don't just want to keep the canvas white on the background. So I'm using this colour and I'm going to use my brush to paint on the colour. You can see it's just a different colour than a white colour. It's just going to give it a little bit of depth to that background. And I have watered it down just so I can pour it onto the canvas and use my paintbrush to spread that paint across the full surface area of the canvas before I get started. So you can see here, it's just giving it a basic colour on that background, just to break that background up. And I'm using this large twig. I bought this in a homeware store. It's actually made of plastic. And I'm coating the twig in black paint. Now, the idea here is to actually create a splash. I don't want to necessarily do an imprint of the twig itself. But what I want to do is I want to create a splash effect when I hit that twig against the canvas. So the idea is to cover the whole twig in black paint. So when it hits that canvas area, that surface area, it's going to splash and leave some paint on that canvas. And that's going to create a template for me to use. I'll explain more as I go. But I'm just covering the full twig in that black paint with my paintbrush. Now I've got to be honest, I forgot to press record when I started this next part of the process. But I'm literally taking the twig and slamming it on the canvas. Not too hard, not too heavy, but I'm creating that splash. So all that paint that was on that twig has now splashed onto the canvas, and that's given me a shape, a very abstract shape of a tree. I'm happy with the amount of splash there is, but I did do it several times. I'm now taking a paintbrush and I'm just going to draw in some very basic lines, and that's going to form like a tree shape, a trunk with some branches. Now I've got that down, I'm going to place that twig back over the canvas, and then I'm going to use a spray can of paint, and I'm just going to lightly spray over that twig in all those different areas. And this is about creating some depth, a different layer and a different dimension. As you can see, I'm just spraying the paint over that twig, and then when I lift it off, it will also create a different pattern. I am wearing a protective mask. It's really important that I emphasize that when I'm using spray paint. That's great for your health and safety, so I highly recommend that if you're going to do this type of work. So that was the black paint, and now I'm going for a gold. Again, I'm just spraying it over the top of the twig, allowing that paint to go onto the twig but also onto the surface area of the canvas to create those shadows. I'm now going to remove the twig, and you can see there the layers that it's helped me create by spray painting over the top. It's something totally different for me. It's something that I've had in my head for a while, and I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. I'm going to add the twig again, just in a different area. I've moved it over to the side, and I'm just adding a little bit more paint. I wanted just to create a larger tree effect on the canvas. And this is one thing that I really wanted to say. If you've got something in your mind that you want to try out and you've not done it before, then go for it. If we don't learn, we don't evolve. And if we don't evolve, our creativity just remains stagnant. So this is just a bit of inspiration for you to say, if there's something that you really want to try, you've not done it before, then just go for it and give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? So let me take you in now for a closer look. I'm not sure I can give this justice. When I get really close, I can see different texture. So drips of paint from that initial splash that we used with the twig. So we painted the twig and splashed it on the canvas. And then we've used some spray paint to go over the top, again to create a different depth and dimension to this piece. But again, it's given some texture. I'm going to take you in for a bit of a closer look and let me know what you think. You can probably see some of those shadows. You can definitely see some of that detail from the twig with the different colours that I've used. Again, this is totally different for me. I'm just wanting to evolve a little bit more with my creativity and try different things. If you're trying some new things too, let me know what you're doing. Drop them in the comments below. I'd really love to hear what you're up to. But a big thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me, for watching me week on week. And I really hope you have a great week ahead. And I hope that I get to see you again in the next video. Have a great week. And remember, allow yourself to evolve. Allow your creativity to take different forms. Try new things. And most importantly, have fun. I'll get to see you again soon, hopefully, guys. See ya. Bye.